love you. Oh.
John Legend on Channel 95.7. It's 7:05. I just told Curtis he had to stop his mouth sometimes.
Stop your mouth from talking. Fine.
You gotta have control of your mouth.
I have no control of my mouth. You want to talk about complete lack of control or 100% control?
Yes.
This is the greatest story in jail history, prison. This is prison. So we just had Brian, who was on Grand Rapids lockup.
Yes.
He called us because he heard his mom heard us talking about him. He called from Florida.
Mm-hmm. This was like a week ago that we were talking about this.
Yeah, he has this crown on his head. He was in just jail.
A crown tattoo.
Here's the deal, though. Let's go to Atlanta. This is Fulton County in Georgia. So a guy who's on death row, picks the lock in his cell. He's in prison. Picks the lock in his cell because he wants to make a phone call. Okay, so it's worth it to him to break out of jail.
Right, he's on death row.
To make a phone call. So while he's walking to the phone, he knows where it is. It's in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. While he's walking to the phone, he passes a female inmate in the same prison because he's not supposed to be in this area, right? Because he's in.
Did she pick a lock too?
No, she was out because some prisoners get to be out. They have jobs to do. She's doing her job. They then go and do it.
Make a phone call?
Consensually. Like, together,
What?
they go back to his cell and do it. So, no phone call, goes back in. But they have, like, cameras in the prison, right? They're watching everything. So the guards just come over and like, what are you guys doing? And he's like, we're doing it. And they're like, how did she get in here? He's like, I picked the lock. I had to make a phone call. You did? Yeah. You picked. And they're like, back up. You picked the lock?
On death row?
And they're like, he's like, yeah, I did it. So what happened, he's walking down the hall of prison after breaking out of prison, sees this woman and says, hey, you want to come back to my cell for a little, shaka, a little
like,
boom,
yeah?
boom? And she says, yes.
Oh, my
They go to
gosh.
the cell and then they get busted.
I think we can't understand what that would be like to be in prison.
Yeah.
In prison.
You break out. He broke out. It says that they have various ways to disable the locks. They can use toilet paper and soap. They can use other methods.
You can break out of death row with toilet paper and soap?
Is what the article says. They are now spending $5 million because of all of the locks that are there, 1,300 of them have been compromised over their life. So 1,300 of the locks don't even work.
Wow.
Now 1,301. This guy added to one. 1,300.
What state was this
This is in Georgia.
In Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County. So he disables the lock with toilet paper and soap, which great show name for us.
Toilet
next
paper
week.
and soap.
And then gets out. It's going to make a phone call. But instead of making the phone call, boom, boom time with a female inmate back in his cell. Guards come up.
So the guards came
to the cell
during boom boom time, or they got there after boom boom time, and she was just enjoying afterglow.
I don't know. I don't know if they're smoking a cigarette or what happened. Like what they found. It doesn't say.
Oh.
No. Hold on.
I guess if you're in prison and you're on death row, you don't really care about getting caught doing anything, right?
No boom boom time for them.
So now he doesn't get soap or toilet paper?
Unfortunate timing last week prevented him from being able to, quote, do anything with Jasmine Jones. But she says that they did do
Jasmine Jones
is her name. She says they did do it. So they're in the...
Wait, he says they didn't?
He says they didn't, and she says, yeah, we did do it. So who knows?
She's in a very good taste in men.
Well, who's the... what's his name here? Yeah, he says he didn't do it. Because I wasn't able to do anything. She says, yeah, we totally did it. So here's the deal. On the camera, in the prison, she appears tentative before entering his cell. Right, because he's on death row. Hey, you want to come in here? She's unsure. It says she entered willingly, although she appeared extremely nervous.
No kidding.
Looking around. This guy's a murderer. Right, and she's a murderer too, so they're both murderers. So I guess that cancels it out. But they were about to like.
Does it?
I think so.
I don't know if it does.
I think if you're a murderer and she's a murderer,
but if you're a murderer,
that's gonna
you're
be
still
intense.
afraid of murderers. I think
It's gonna be intense. I think. It's going to be good.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Ew.
A couple murders, and you haven't done it for a long time, so it's quick, right? 'Cause
Curtis!
you've been waiting.
Stop it.
Is it not? I don't know.
Remember how we were talking about controlling your mouth?
Yes. That's what they were talking about in the cell, too.
Okay. 722 on Channel 95.7. Connie and Curtis. 50 degrees now, 76 and sunny today.
So sunny right now.
Pretty excited about it.
I love it. After we got our little break from the sun yesterday, you were so excited to have a break from the sun and the heat. No one else really understood.
In Kentwood, we only had a couple-hour break. It was definitely sunny in the evening.
Yeah, it definitely got sunny around my place in the evening
that's
as
good.
well.
Congratulations.
But we had everything was all closed up because we had to. We had it was 60. Okay, 60 on my little thermometer at my house.
Yep.
60, 60, 60, and then the sun comes out and it's beating right on the thermometer. It went from 60 to 96 in like 8 minutes.
96.
And it wasn't really 96, right? That's just the heat of the sun.
Can I tell you something? Yesterday evening, I believe it was, going through my news feed.
Okay.
I see this news story that talks about a guy and a girl and a mom.
Guy and a girl and a mom.
They drive their snowbirds from Michigan.
Okay.
They drive to Arizona. They go to Arizona every year, live there in the wintertime, come back.
That's what a snowbird means.
Yes.
Okay.
So Sunday, they decide they're going to come back to
Love it.
Michigan in like the Roseville, Clinton Township area.
Okay.
So they start driving. Couple hours in, more than a couple hours, they get to Oklahoma.
Okay.
Okay. So Oklahoma, the female passenger, who's 31 years old,
Okay.
she falls asleep. And at some point, she falls asleep. In Oklahoma, guy who's driving notices she's cold to the touch.
You're freezing. What's wrong?
She won't wake up.
Oh, wake up, honey. Hey, wake up.
He does not care.
No, the guy keep driving.
He keeps driving. A little while later, a few hours later, he stops and Googles what to do when somebody dies in your car and you're on a cross-country trip.
Dies in car. Vacation, you put her on the roof.
He said that.
We've all seen it.
He said what he found was that you have 48 hours to do something.
Okay, you got about 2 days. Okay, so you got a window. So keep driving.
Turns out police in Roseville or Warren, I think he ended up in Warren, say, no.
Should have done something right away.
Should have done something right away. He drove all the way home with dead lady strapped in her seatbelt in the front seat of the car.
Well, at least she was safe.
Could you do that?
Kept her belted in. So,
And his mom, his 92-year-old mom, this was a van.
Okay.
92-year-old mom was in the back.
well, yeah. Once somebody dies in that seat, you don't want to swap it out. Plus, then they're dead weight. Literally, they don't move at all.
He did not want to stop.
But that's like vacation, where the Aunt Edna dies, and they put her on the roof.
It
right
is like
there.
vacation.
Hey, wake Aunt Edna up, huh?
Could you do that? Could you do it?
Drive with somebody dead? Well, yeah, because it's going to ruin your whole trip. Like, if you have an itinerary and you need to be in Warren or Clinton or Rosemont on Tuesday, and somebody dies on Sunday, you don't stop because that's ruining your trip. You got to do a funeral. You got to get the whole ME involved. Absolutely. And no one's going to believe that she just died. You take her. You take her to a safe
autopsy
place.
would show that she just died.
But that's going to take like a week. You're stuck there for a week.
Oh, no, you don't have to stay. You just have to call a mortician.
You have to stay because you now are a suspect in a murder. They don't know. They don't know how she died. Maybe
They
you
definitely
poisoned her.
don't even think that that is the case.
No, now they don't because the woman is dead and they were able to run the test. But if I stop, let's say I'm driving through Grand Rapids. I stop
You're
on 131.
supposed to stop,
I stop.
Curtis.
I got dead lady next to me. Let's say Katie dies, okay? So I'm driving. Katie dies. I say, oh, my goodness. My wife is dead in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Please come and take her from me. They're not just taking her. I get to take a little ride somewhere, I'm sure. I get to get questioned. Like, my day is ruined. You absolutely have 48 hours.
No, you don't.
You do it.
No, you don't.
Are they charging him?
They said no. They
Because
say
you have 48
They don't know
hours.
yet. They said you do not have 48 hours. You stop and call the police
When
Yeah.
immediately.
When they charge him with something, I will believe that. But until that time, it seems he was
I think
correct.
they're using him as a learning lesson for the rest of
No.
us.
Well, then they should charge him because you always want to give a
don't
stiff
know.
penalty to the first person
Would you
who does
stop
it.
Amanda, or would you
Absolutely.
keep driving for another 2 days?
If you know that the person next to you is dead, I'm stopping. Like, they're dead. I don't want to drive with them in my car. They died. And if they're in the car with me, I probably care about them. I'm not just going to be like, oh, yeah, I'll just keep driving.
Right.
I'm going to take you home.
Well, they knew each other. They were friends.
Okay.
I don't know how close of friends, but more driving buddies, I believe.
Well, then
it seemed like what it was.
Then you're mad too because you have to drive the whole way because 93-year-old grandma's not taking a shift behind the wheel, right? So
I don't know if this is true or not,
got
but
the glaucoma.
I read the article. I've read 2 different articles about this, but
Okay.
then I was reading through all the posts because the people posting.
Yeah,
make
it's
me
comments.
laugh.
Comments are
They're
funny.
ridiculous, and the vacation comment was brought up like 8,000
Yes,
times.
it's awesome, man. Edna. Was her name Edna?
But supposedly, no.
Okay.
Supposedly, there was no air conditioning in the car.
Oh, so it stunk? No, was that in the story or did somebody just allude to that fact?
Several people alluded to it. Like, several people said it, and it wasn't in a
Okay.
joking way, so I don't know if they read a different article. I did not see that in any article that I've read.
You can never, though.
No signs of foul play, though, the police are saying.
Yeah, but if they had pulled over, he's getting questioned. The grandma's getting questioned. That's stress-filled in their life. Then they're behind the 8 ball. They're behind on the schedule. Absolutely, you don't stop. And if he doesn't get arrested, that's BS that you don't have time. You can do whatever you want.
So apparently, after he Googled what to do with a dead body in your car,
You own that body.
he called. She was at a health care facility for something, and they didn't say what before
Okay.
they left Arizona. So he called the
She
health
should have
care.
stayed there.
He called the healthcare facility, the healthcare facility called her
To-
cell phone
to check on her.
dead lady's cell phone, and he answered it.
Hello.
And he explained the situation to the woman,
She's dead.
and he was told to stop and get a hold of the police. And he said, "quote
I have 48 hours.
I'm not stopping. I'll get a hold of them when I get to Michigan."
Absolutely. No, I love it. There's nothing
Wouldn't
wrong with
she
that.
have called the police then?
Yeah.
Who, the dead lady?
No, the person that at the
Ding ding, Amanda.
healthcare facility.
She did.
Oh, she did. Okay.
And they located him, but they weren't able to catch him because he was flying down whatever road you fly.
But
to
you
get
know he's
from
going
Arizona.
to Michigan. Set up a one
They
of
did,
those things.
and they got him in Warren, I believe.
They found him at his house. Is what they didn't set up a blockade. You're right, Amanda. That woman now is at more fault than the guy because this is a healthcare professional who now knows that he's transporting the dead person. But if every time somebody dies in a car and they have to pull over, like ambulances would be pulled over, you want them going as fast as they can. Everybody. This is not.
Nick, why are you cracking up?
This is not a problem.
Why are you cracking up, Nick?
Because he agrees.
Yeah, I totally like Curtis's perspective on this.
Exactly. This is dead on.
Digging it.
No pun. This is
on.
this
Or
is real
not
life.
digging it.
You're
Not yet.
Not digging. You're gonna dig it in a
Okay,
few
so
days.
2 of us would stop and call the police, and 2 of us would keep going and gun it.
I'm not speeding up. I don't want to get a ticket because then I got a dead person
Your
in the
AC
car.
doesn't work, and you've had a dead person
No,
in your car for 2 days.
You roll the window down.
Ah,
That's fine.
Yuck.
And why did it take 2 days to get from Oklahoma to Michigan? That's part of the problem too,
know.
because I don't think it did. Because there's a hotel stay involved there. If it takes 2 days, so what? You got dead ladies sitting in the passenger seat of your van.
And he stopped and got gas a whole bunch of times
Well, yeah.
and went through fast food drive-thrus.
Yeah, nothing for her. She's fine. She doesn't need anything. Actually, I'll take her onion rings. Thanks. She's not going to eat them. Not going to finish them. I bet they made it from Oklahoma in 1 day, but he just read online 2 days. That's my guess. Because you can't get a hotel room or you can't sleep in a rest area with a dead person
Maybe
in
he
your
didn't
car.
sleep. Maybe he just drove.
But it's not a 48-hour drive.
You're definitely
what
gonna have
it
to stop
is.
and get gas.
Well,
There's
no, and
definitely gas
he did.
stations.
No,
he stopped and got gas and stopped and got some fast food.
Yeah,
I was hungry.
I don't think it took him 2 days. I think you are reading the fact that he had 2 days to deal with the body and assuming it was a 2-day trip because you can get to Oklahoma in less than a day.
Should have immediately called for help, police said. So just so you know, don't listen to Curtis.
No, do listen
Somebody
to me.
dies in your car and you're on a road trip.
Pedal to
stop,
the metal. Floor
call
it.
the police.
Floor it is what
You're
I
giving
say.
bad advice right now.
I'm not. Unless they charge this
You're
gentleman.
giving bad advice right now.
Unless they charge him, I'm giving excellent advice.
I think they're waiting for the autopsy, which has been done. It was done yesterday.
Yeah,
No, it was done Tuesday.
You said he was cleared.
No, I said they haven't charged him yet.
Okay.
They haven't charged him
You
yet.
said they didn't suspect foul play.
They don't suspect foul play.
but
they did say that.
But there could be some poison in there.
Who knows?
If this man is charged and it's not murder, it's just not turning in the dead body, then I'm giving bad advice. However, if nothing comes of this,
Mm-hmm. No, you're giving bad advice anyway.
I'm giving fine
You're
advice.
giving crap advice.
And what are the odds
Don't
that
listen to
somebody's going to
Curtis's
die in your
advice.
car on a trip? Slim.
And just fall asleep and go to sleep and then they never wake up.
Well, do you think they actually fell asleep or do you think they just died?
I don't know.
Because he doesn't know
Who
either,
knows?
right?
No, he
You're not
doesn't
paying
know.
attention. You're listening to like the Proclaimers. I will drive 5. And you're like, why aren't you singing your da 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 da? And then silence. Da 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 da. Honey, come on.
Da, da, da.
It's your part. Da da da. Da da da. Da 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 da. And you're like, well, whatever. She's sleeping. And then you go, your hand is cold. Ooh, let's turn this AC off. And that's probably why they turned the AC off, because she was cold. And they're like, you stink. Wake up. Seriously, there's that Proclaimer
And then poor
song.
mom,
Yeah.
92-year-old mom in the back.
92-year-old mom in the back's like, I wish I was dead too.
Goodness.
She does. She's like, man, someone was going to die on this trip. I wish it had been me, you bastard, with your Proclaimers song on repeat the whole trip. 48 hours to get from Oklahoma to Michigan. You're driving 40 in the slow lane. People passing you. The Amish are driving past us on the highway. You're the worst son-in-law ever. Kill my daughter, and now here you are driving me in the
wasn't her
back seat. I don't
daughter.
even get to go in the front seat. Of course, it doesn't matter because I'm 3 feet tall because I got shrunk when I got old and I can't even see over the dashboard.
I got shrunk.
I got to be in the back seat to see anything. I'm in a booster seat back here like I'm an 8-year-old. This isn't even fair.
Are you done?
You were the worst person ever. Turn that damn song off. Seriously. Ba-da-da-da. I'm not singing with you. Ba-da-da-da. I don't want You killed my daughter. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Officer. If he gets charged, bad advice. If not, I'm
Still
giving,
bad advice.
giving fine advice.
Bad advice.
Connie and Curtis.
Connie and
Bastille, Pompeii on the new channel 95.7, 743 with Connie and Curtis. 50 degrees now, 76 and sunshine today. We don't have rain in the forecast again until Sunday.
Well, and on Sunday, you'll be ready for a little break from the sunshine.
Yes, I will.
And the heat, so we will
Yes,
appreciate
I
it.
will.
It was funny yesterday because it was a half day. Okay, so kids had a half day, and then they come home and they want to be outside playing with their friends and doing all this stuff.
Absolutely.
And it was raining a big one. So a lot of like indoor play happened yesterday around my neighborhood, which was kind of loud. Really,
Well,
we were
I was
ready.
just reading that when you have to spend a whole day with your kids, now this didn't qualify because yesterday was a half day.
Right.
But when, like, summer's coming, right? They're out of school tomorrow. So next Monday
Or Saturday.
or Saturday, by 3:53, you as a parent, will
Okay.
go hide in the bathroom so you can get away from your children.
Wow.
By 3:53 p.m.
So before 4 o'clock, I've
You'll be
already
over
made
it.
a run to the bathroom.
Parents will be so over it, they'll be like, okay.
Because you're stuck inside. So these are littler
to the
kids
bathroom.
then, where you can't just send them outside and say, go ride around.
Maybe.
Man, it is. We spend a lot of time sending our kids to like different parts of the house instead of us retiring to the bathroom because now they're old enough where they can go. Like, why don't you guys go in the basement? Or why don't you go up into your room and play that?
Do they want to hang out with you?
No, but they just want to be playing,
Right.
and they're so loud. Like yesterday, I was watching TV, watching a show, and Charlotte has brought home everything from her desk. Okay, so everything is coming home, all the notes and all the stories and everything, and she proceeds to read. She brought a poetry book home that she had written from like the beginning of the year to the end of the year. So there are probably
Aw.
100 poems in
Oh,
this thing.
I hope she read them all to you yesterday.
Well, she read them all, not to me because I was trying to watch TV, but read them all in the room thinking I was listening to them.
Oh.
And finally I had to say, you know what, can you go read these in another room? And she said, no, I'm reading them to you. And I said, oh, well, read them to me from the kitchen. Go stand in the kitchen and read them to me.
Did you really?
And then she did go to the kitchen and read them. And it was a little quieter, so I was able to actually see the TV and hear it.
Curtis.
Well, I don't want to keep turning it up. You can't have your TV at 60 and your kid screaming poetry, which some of the poems were not even poems.
Like, give me an example of what a poem.
Okay, here was a poem, and this is a great one.
Okay.
Happy, happy, happy. It makes me so happy. I like to feel happy, 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 happy. Now
That's a poem.
that was from early on in the year.
That's a great poem.
It's not a poem.
Yeah, it is.
That's repeating
Anything is a poem
That's
now.
repeating the word happy 35 times and then maybe throwing in some other words. Happy, happy, happy. It makes me feel happy.
Okay.
What makes you feel happy?
Life.
She said it. So who knows? Does the
That's
word
left
happy?
up to your interpretation.
Yes.
the word-
I think it's a very creative, good poem.
Does the word happy make her feel? Well, then, okay, perfect.
She's before her time. That was before Pharrell actually released that song.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
She knew about happy.
Okay, so that was the beginning of the school year. Give me a poem from the end.
I don't know any from the end because she was in the kitchen and I was watching TV. I don't know a single one from the end. And
You can't remember one.
And I was like, can you just go outside? Can you just go outside? And she's like, no, it's raining. Mom said we can't go outside.
I think you can remember one.
One was about Easter.
Okay,
And it was
how did it
about
go?
Easter, Easter, Easter. It's time for
not.
Easter. It did, because
That's
that's
a
her formula now,
lie.
because the teacher must have told her it was good. It's like, we hunt for eggs and we eat some lamb. And I'm like, that doesn't even rhyme, and that is a bad Easter poem.
Poems don't have to rhyme.
But that was what our Easter was. Easter, 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 it's time for Easter. We'll hunt for eggs and eat some lamb. And that was the poem. That's not a poem.
What would be a good poem?
Easter.
Why don't you give us a poem?
Easter, Easter, Easter. Where is that meester? We went to find him this morning, and he was gone, and we're mourning. Boom. Mourning, and with mourning, the different ones. That was a good thing. That's a good poem.
MOURNING.
Or looking for eggs, running on our legs, trying to find them because there's money in them. Boom. Them with them.
I like Charlotte's poems
All right.
better.
Easter, Easter, Easter. It's almost Easter. We'll hunt for eggs and eat some lamb.
Crystal.
Period.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Crystal, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm driving to work and listening to you guys.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome.
one of those sounds fun.
We're at work and listening to us.
Okay, so did you like Charlotte's poem?
I did. I like the happy poem.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure that that's a haiku.
Yeah.
I think that's too many
So,
syllables.
yeah, it's a poem.
To a 7-year-old, that's a haiku.
Hey, 7-year-old who
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
count syllables, that's a haiku. 'Cause
Haiku.
Isn't that 575?
I think so.
I think it's 757.
Okay, so that'd be happy, 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 ha.
Happy, happy, happy. Oh,
Happy, ha.
Happy, 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 ha. P. P's on the next line. Of course, it's on the next line.
Okay, maybe not quite a haiku, but it was a valiant effort.
Okay, yeah, she tried.
She's 7.
Well, and she got an A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She had a little smiley
Curtis
face.
would make for a haiku.
And what kind of dad says, I got to watch Kent County Lockup right now? Can you go in the
The
kitchen
same kind of dad who
and
says
read them?
at
It
3:53.
sort of sounds like my dad.
Yes. See, I'm everyone's dad.
And my dad.
I'm everyone's
My
dad.
dad would have done that too.
But you just said that we are running to the bathroom to lock ourselves in
Right.
at 3:53.
Yeah.
At least she could see me.
Wait, Crystal, do you have kids?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have any kids. I'm 30 years old, and I don't have any kids. Thank goodness. Because I've got a lot of friends who have all of my friends have kids,
Right.
and that is the best birth control ever. Is
Ding,
being
ding.
around them, and my friend does daycare, and there's so many
okay.
kids. So when the summer happens, there's going to be 7 kids in her house.
Oh.
All ranging from like 13 to 4. And it's
My.
going to be insanity.
Yeah, that's a lot of
But-
kids.
We
Yeah,
had
It's rough.
we had 6 kids in my house yesterday, and we pretty much had to kick all the ones who didn't live in my house out of the house.
Because it was so loud.
Because it was just so loud. Well, and they were playing, and I get that it's summer and you springtime and you're ready to be doing outdoor things. They were not playing the recorder, thank goodness. That would have been like that immediate shutdown. But they turned. Charlotte has a bunk bed. They turned the bunk bed into like a jungle gym.
Yeah.
Where they're up and no, not yet.
Yeah.
So
I love this.
Yeah.
So here's what we hear. We are in the downstairs, and we just hear this on the ceiling, and then we're like, and then they're running and laughing, and we're like, what the heck is
having
going on?
fun.
They were jumping off the top bunk.
Oh,
Onto the bottom and laughing, and so we said, guys, okay, knock it off. This is not a jungle gym. And they're like, oh, okay. And as soon as we got back
Mr. Curtis.
downstairs, boom, boom, they're back doing it again. So it's like, all right, everybody who doesn't live here is going home. Get out of here. Go right now.
Crystal
So it
and
makes you appreciate the teachers.
Absolutely,
Yes.
1,000%. Yes, it does. And
But
I
it's very comical to those of us who do not have kids.
wish school was year round. You guys laugh and laugh. And I wish my house was so loud all the time. People
I'll have a
jumping.
drink to that. Well, not right now. Cause
You're driving.
Well, because you're going
You
on your way
gotta
to
go
work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
probably a good
right.
idea.
Unless you own a bar.
Well, thanks for pointing out the whole haiku thing.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
Even though it wasn't a haiku.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Thanks, Crystal. Have a great day.
You
Bye,
guys
babe.
too, Bye.
Bye. Yeah, worst poem ever in the book. So I'm like, go read in the kitchen.
I think we should all write a poem.
And then I'm concentrating on reading, on watching the TV, and I don't want to put the closed captioning on, but I was close. I was close to closed captioning because I wanted
My
to be,
dad does that.
Wanted to be able to pay attention. You guys are all talking. So you're telling me that when you are visiting your mom and dad, you guys sit on the couch right next to your poor dad who's watching TV and just talk? Move to a different room. Do they have a studio apartment?
Yes.
No, they don't.
No, they
have a
don't.
home.
They have a
Move
home.
to a different room.
No.
Yes.
No.
Even so,
I'm not going to.
You're telling me that when
my dad loves our conversations.
that he's trying to ignore so he can read the TV. He has to put closed captioning on because you're so loud.
He does go in the other room a lot.
Yes. Goodbye,
now that
guys.
you're saying it.
I'm gonna retire, guys.
I think we should all write a poem.
you write it and then
No,
I'll
we're all
proofread
going
it.
to write
anything?
one. Just about anything.
I'll proofread it.
You write a poem too, Mr. Poem Judger.
Poem judger.
You're a
I will
judgy
just judge. I'll
poem
be the
reader.
Simon Cowell of your little poem competition.
No, you need to write one because you're the one being all judgy about
Fine,
Charlotte's.
fine.
And okay.
Fine.
All right, argument done. We're going to go write some poems.
I'm not.
Nick, you're writing one too.
Nick
Doesn't have to fight. You are the artist of this poem.
I don't think Nick
You're
can
the
read
author.
or write. I'm not sure that this is a
Nick
good
can read
choice.
it. Why don't you think
Can
he
you
can
read and
write?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well then we should be okay. just checking.
Why do you think he can't
I
read
don't
or
know.
write?
Sometimes like he will tell us like who's on the phone and we have no idea who like he's
Oh,
what he's,
that's true.
What he's trying to sound things out.
He's very phonetic.
Yeah.
He
and
writes things phonetically.
So if you're gonna
That's
phonetic
true.
a phonetic poem will be awesome to read.
That will be awesome to read. What is that?
That's sounding things out.
All right.
Connie and
So we're
Curtis.
going to come back with 4 poems then, right?
4 poems coming at you. Next.
Are you excited?
So excited.
Yours is going to be dumb.
Probably my
You're
favorite
not going to
thing.
put your best effort in. I can feel it.
Guaranteed.
That you're not going to.
Yeah.
Connie and Curtis.